This video is going to be 5 places to focus when it comes to managing burnout so that you can stay engaged in your career and also feel really good. So number 1 is going to be sleep. I've mentioned this in my first burnout video, but sleep is so foundational for our health, above nutrition, above even movement, that focusing on your sleep has to be a priority. If you can't spend more hours in bed, learn how to optimize the amount of time that you sleep, whether it's through supplements, apps, sleep environment, sleep routine. All of that has to be first. It doesn't have to be completely fixed before you can move on to the next steps, but it does have to be handled first or attempted first while you do these other things. Second, in my opinion, is nervous system regulation. If you're in a state of burnout, it means there has been a chronic stress experience in your life. Even if the stress doesn't feel bad, it doesn't mean that the body doesn't become burnt out. Because when you are in a fast-paced career, or you're building a company, or you've just been working really hard to build your career in the last couple of years, or school and managing other jobs, the body is going to interpret that as stress, which means that your fight or flight system has probably been in overdrive for a long time, which means there is a lot of extra adrenaline and cortisol that has been going through your body that might be affecting sleep. Your whole HP axis, which is the hypothalamus pituitary axis, could be dysregulated. The term is sometimes called adrenal fatigue, which isn't quite accurate because it's more about the HPA axis. But what it comes back to is regulating your nervous system. Well, how do we regulate our nervous system? My favorite way is through somatic therapy. This is a modality that I offer in my coaching practice that is profoundly transformational. It's deep and true subconscious work because it's going into the patterns and the memory of the body and getting really curious on, why and what part of us runs ourselves into burnout without being able to honor our stress response, or our exhaustion response. We also get to learn all things about our psyche and our behavior and our experiences and our beliefs through somatic therapy. However, it is pretty deep nervous system work. You can do lighter, more bandage solution nervous system regulation through breath, through guided meditation, of course through intentional movement, through grounding outside by putting your feet on the ground, through going for walks or whatever brings you into a more calm state. Also, co-regulating with another person who is calm is a way to regulate your nervous system. And then again, like I said, if you're ready to really fully unravel the tight spring in a way that allows you to feel safe to be relaxed long term without having to consciously go in and keep calming yourself down, somatic therapy is going to be a move for sure. Third thing to focus on when it comes to burnout recovery is actually your communication of your boundaries and needs. And this is largely, first and foremost, an internal project because you need to get clear on what your boundaries and needs are and where they've been broken that have led to your burnout. So maybe your boundaries and needs were only crossed by you. Maybe you have been the one fully ignoring your stress response. Maybe you even know that you're doing it. Maybe you know that you should be sleeping better, eating better, whatever it is, and you keep choosing not to. There's a conversation that you need to have with yourself and sort of reckon why that happened and what you need now, because now you realize that you probably can't put in that same effort and get the same results because there's a burnout happening. So there needs to be a bit of a recoup phase. Second, your boundaries and needs could have definitely been crossed by people in your environment because you weren't able to communicate them. So again, step 1 is going to be getting clear on what those boundaries and needs are for you, and then being able to communicate them so that you can be better supported by the people in your environment. Each of these steps, by the way, we're on number 3, are full 1+ hour long discussions that I have with my clients in my Burnout Recovery Solution program. So I understand that I'm being super brief. I just want to give you the high level places to focus so that if you do want to dive into it on your own, you know where to go. Number 4 in your 5 places to focus when it comes to burnout management and recovery is going to be wellness and nutrition. So I'm sure this one doesn't surprise anyone. There are probably ways that you can be eating better for your body. I am definitely not going to recommend any specific diet either way. I have a degree in human nutritional science, and what I've learned is that different eating styles work for different bodies, and this can be for different seasons of your life depending on what you need. There's lots of discussions to be had about blood sugar and different sort of chemical or hormone affecting foods that I'm happy to get into in detail with my clients, but I am not about to have a 6-hour discussion about nutrition. So top top thing is just like, you probably already know what makes you feel good when you eat it and or what makes you feel bad when you eat it. So how can you clean that up just so that you're at least giving your body the best sources of nutrition possible, so that while you are still handling the stress of your day-to-day life or your stress of work, you're at least nourishing your body so that it can be supported while it's trying to recover and manage a burnt out nervous system and hormone system. And your fifth step in burnout recovery, in my opinion, in my program, is something called expansion. So this is where we work to actually stretch our capacity to hold stress. And this is very important because for so many of my clients, it is never about quitting your job, giving up your company, whatever. If you want to do that, you can, but it's not advice I'm going to give you. It's how can we handle the same amount of stress or these growing pains of growing a team and growing a company without burning out. And so you can continue to perform at peaks higher and higher and higher, which is of course what everyone wants. Well, what it requires is being able to hold more stress without your body getting completely dysregulated. So this comes with, again, more nervous system work, deeper understanding of what our needs are, but then also this stretching of capacity so that we are practicing regulating enough that our body is doing it by default. And you've already had this experience of stretching your stress capacity. If you imagine the start of a new job where you didn't know how to do something, or maybe you moved into a position in your career where you were now responsible for giving pitches or running meetings, and in the beginning that might have felt kind of stressful. You want to do it right, maybe you're not sleeping well the night before, maybe you're anxious about what you're presenting, but at some point it kind of just becomes second nature. So I'm sure you can imagine something in your career that was intense at the start and felt nerve-wracking, you didn't know if you would be able to do it, that now you just do daily, weekly, monthly, and you don't even think about it. So you were able to stretch your stress capacity by practicing it. This expansion strategy is about expanding your stress capacity without needing to practice necessarily a certain work task to just get over it, but how can you expand what you can handle so that when things come at you, it's not going to keep you up all night. It's not going to make you feel anxious or overwhelmed. And in that, we also get to practice holding more capacity for success, for joy, for celebration, all of these things that are actually scientifically really important in order to keep us motivated to move forward and to continue to contribute to our own lives and the world at large when we are able to operate from this place, which ends up, being the place of groundedness and clear decision making and all of that fun stuff. So again, to do a quick recap, our 5 places to focus for burnout recovery are going to be sleep, nervous system regulation, communication, needs and boundaries, wellness and nutrition, and expansion. I hope this was helpful. I hope it gives you a place to start. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments and I'm happy to make another video. See ya.